Hey, John.
Hi, how are you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. Got your email.
Okay. We're being recorded as we speak, or live streaming at least as we speak.
Okay.
We can talk about that offline if that's okay. Oh boy, what's that, huh? Magic quadrant. Hello, Steve.
Hi.
What is the
Hey.
background you have chosen?
I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it?
No, I better check.
Well, don't worry. I don't think it's offensive to anyone. It's just I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Oh, I see what it is. It was from a defensible space presentation I
Oh, I
did.
see. I see. Yeah. Okay.
I did it for my master gardeners on defensible space, and that's what it is.
Cool.
Okay.
But it was small enough print from here that I couldn't see it. So
Yeah, you see it?
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what it was. I didn't even know what it was. So I got the same bridge picture too. I'll do here, I'll do this one.
There you go. Nice ocean. I like that.
Here we go. And that's it.
When did you take the course, Steve?
Gardening?
When did you take the Master Gardener course?
I graduated in 2015,
Cool.
Oh,
and I
You
just
have two
came
green
from
thumbs
our.
now?
What's that?
You have two green thumbs now?
Two green thumbs. What's the other one?
Well, having a green thumb is good. Yeah, obviously, if you're a
Oh.
master gardener, you must have two green thumbs.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yes, I teach composting and gardening because I took a further certification, and I just came from our annual sale where we the first time we did it online because of COVID, and we have orders for 20,000 plants.
Wow, that's
We
cool.
We grew 22,000 plants, so we're pretty much sold out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna make like $70,000.
Wow,
I know.
that's impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
this isn't the one that's up in Tilden?
No, mine's by Shadelands in Walnut Creek. That's where
Okay.
I just came from there, and yeah, we did really well. We didn't know how it was going to go online, and we did better than we do when people come in person.
Are they any way connected to the Bancroft Gardens?
No, not connection, except our master gardeners also are docents there.
Okay.
No relationship really between the two.
That's a great place.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Michael.
Hello.
Michael, how are you?
Hey, Greg.
Good.
How's everyone doing?
Excellent. How are you?
All right.
I'm back from Hawaii, so I can't be doing that great.
My son just got back too. Monday.
Cool.
Yep.
Which island did you go to, or islands did you go to?
Just Maui.
What do you mean just? That's a great one.
I gotta get my.
Great. Well, I just figured to stay there instead of bouncing from island to island.
That's a good idea. So I guess it is, we got almost a minute to go, huh? Okay. Okay, according to my ISP, it is 3 o'clock. Shall we call the meeting to order? Welcome everybody to the Moraga-Orinda Fire District's special board meeting. It's April 7th, 2021. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have an open session first, then we're going to the closed session and then come back to the open session at 5 o'clock. Marcia, can you take a roll call? I'll call the meeting to order. Can you take a roll call, please?
Director Bates?
Here.
Director Danziger?
Here.
Director Donner?
Here.
Director Jex?
Here.
President Jorgens?
Here. Okay, thank you. So do we have any public comment on the closed items 3.1 through 3.3?
We do not have any attendees and we've not received any written public comment.
Okay, so I will close the public comment on those closed session items. And then we can adjourn the closed session, and the open session will again begin at 5 o'clock. So we will see you guys in just a minute on the other channel.
All right.
Adios.
As soon as I figure out how to turn this off.
Mr. Holtzman, they're in the closed session meeting. Do you want me to resend you the closed session link? Jonathan?
Hello.
Hi, they're in the closed session meeting. Do you want me to resend it to you to your phone?
Yeah, that'd be terrific. Thanks.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks.
Hello, Steve and
Hello.
Jeff.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Excellent. How are you?
Doing good.
I saw some emails going. I don't know why I got copied on some of them about Juniper groups and things that are owned by Caltrans and all kinds of fun stuff, keeping you too busy and too distracted, I have a feeling.
Yeah, yes, sir. Just a normal day in the life of a fire marshal.
Yeah, the glorious day of a fire marshal. That's it. Yes. That's what I wanted. Marcia, I think we can go to the next slide now if you want. So let's see, we have Jax and Danziger and Donner and Jorgens, and I'm pretty sure I saw. So the gang's all here, I think. So we have 30 more seconds. Okay, are we all, I guess we got everybody here. So I will reconvene the regular meeting of the Moraga-Orinda Fire District Board of Directors. We'll call the meeting to order and get a roll call.
Director Bates,
Here.
Director Digger,
Here.
Director Donner,
Here.
Director Jex,
Here.
President Jorgens.
Here. Okay. So there is nothing to report out of the closed section for action items 3.1 through 3.3. And for item 6, we'll open public comment on items that are not on the agenda.
So I have not received any written public comment and I do not have any hands raised.
Okay, then we will close public comment on items that are not on the agenda. And move on to to the special agenda item 7.1, which is a resolution 21.06, resolution of the Board of Directors of the Moraga-Orinda Fire District in appreciation and congratulations to Fire Engineer Janet Brandy and on her retirement. So,
Great. Marcia, could you promote Janet, please? She is no, great. Thank you very much.
Janet, I got to read that again for you real quick. So we're welcome. So we have a resolution 21.06. It's a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Moraga-Orinda Fire District in appreciation and congratulations to Fire Engineer Janet Brandy on your retirement.
Good evening, directors. Fire Engineer Janet Brandy became a full-time firefighter with the Moraga-Orinda Fire Protection District in 1997, was promoted to engineer in 2007. On March 30th, Fire Engineer Brandy concluded an exemplary 26-year career in the fire service. She's made a positive difference to countless lives in both the city of Orinda, the town of Moraga, and the community of Canyon. She has exhibited such dedication and leadership in her public service that the Moraga-Orinda Fire District desires to recognize her for that service to the community. She leaves a legacy of strength and perseverance, inspiring all women and men in the fire industry. MOFD expresses appreciation and congratulations to Fire Engineer Janet Brandy upon her retirement and recognizes her exemplary service to the community. I'll now read the resolution. Whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy became a full-time firefighter with the Moraga-Orinda Fire Protection District in 1997 and promoted to engineer in 2007. And whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy concludes a 26-year career in the fire service, retiring from the Moraga-Orinda Fire District. And whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy responded over 7,500 emergency calls and served on a strike team during the 2017 Tubbs fire. And whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy has been invaluable, inspiring, not only to the members of the Moraga-Orinda Fire Protection Team, but to all the women who desire to become a firefighter. And whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy made a countless lives, both in the city of Orinda, the town of Moraga, and the community of Canyon. And whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy has exhibited such dedication and leadership in her public service that the Moraga-Orinda Fire District desires to recognize her for that service to the community at large. Whereas Fire Engineer Janet Brandy leaves a legacy of strength and perseverance, inspiring all women and men in the fire industry. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Moraga-Orinda Fire Protection District expresses appreciation, praise, and congratulations to Fire Engineer Janet Brandy upon her retirement after 26 years of dedicated and exemplary service to the community, recognizing her talent and energy devoted to serving the public, and wish her all of the best in her retirement. And I would just like to add, before I turn it over to the board, not only have we been very fortunate to have her here in the community, we remain fortunate to have her here in the community as a resident. So while she is leaving us in her uniform role, she will remain in the community. If her past service is any indication, I think we can certainly expect to continue to see her out and about, continue to give back to make this community what it is today. And with that, directors, I turn it over to you.
Well, thank you very much. So I guess to be formal, we have to open it up to public comment first. Sorry. Are there any, and I don't think we have a lot of public tonight. And seeing no public comment, I will open it to the boards because I'm sure they'll have some comments from our board.
This is Director Danziger. Janet, I'd give you a hug and pump your fist if I could, but here you go. Thank you for your service. As the chief said, that resolution just touches the surface, I know, of everything you've contributed here. You're a great role model for future women here at the fire department. And I know a few women right now who are interested, contacted me, and if you don't mind, I'm going to get your contact and have them talk to you at some point. And I just want to say thank you. And you know, being someone who worked in HR, you know, for over 20 years in the fire department, having you as the first woman in this department to retire on a service retirement is a big accomplishment. And thank you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you, guys.
And
I'd like to, this is Director Jex, just to, again, thank you for your service. It's wonderful to see someone who's able to accomplish what you have, and wish you well with your daughter, and love the picture we saw of you and her together, and wonderful example of a mother who's accomplished a lot, as well as being a good mother to your children. Thank you.
Hey, Michael Donner here. Just want to tip my hat to you. 26 years, that's quite a run. Service retirement's really quite an accomplishment. 7,500 calls under your belt and some strike teams. You should be walking out of, I'm sure you walked out of that firehouse with your head held high and some mixed emotion for sure. And let's get that daughter in training for a future firefighter.
there you go.
Congratulations and job well done.
Thank you.
Hey, Janet, Director Bates here. Just wanted to echo everyone's, congratulations. It's wonderful. To be able to walk away from this career healthy is always a plus. So congratulations on a long career and enjoy your retirement.
I will. Thank you.
Great. This is Director Jorgens. Again, congratulations. I would echo all the other fine things that have been said. As a father of two daughters, it's nice to know there are strong role models out there that have been especially successful, and especially in an area that's not necessarily known so much for having women. To really be a leader in that area is terrific. And it's going to be great hopefully for a lot of other young women that want to go follow in your footsteps. So thank you again for all of your service to the community, and all those calls you went on, and I'm glad you're retiring healthy. So have a great rest of your life, and we will miss you, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we need to, do I hear a motion to pass the resolution?
I so move.
I'll second it.
Okay. Marcia, can we have a roll call vote? Actually, we should have any discussion, but
I just have one question for staff. I assume a copy of the resolution will be given to Janet.
Yes.
Yes, we saw Janet here in the office this afternoon. I suspect we'll see her again. I should just say one thing, directors, before you vote. I know we're speaking metaphorically about walking out the fire station your last day, but it should be noted that over the last 10 days in the fire station during the month of March, she completed 1,000 burpees.
3,000.
3,000, thank you. So there's strong, and then there's finishing strong. And I think this was the all caps version of strong with a couple exclamation points at the end.
cool.
Nice going.
All right.
I'm calling you Rocky.
Hey, thank you all. And I really appreciate it. And I'm probably going to go cry here really soon. But absolutely available, Steve or anybody else, that I'm happy to talk to anyone, and I'll be around for sure.
All right.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
Yes. So we have a motion and a second. Marcia?
Director Bates,
Aye.
Director Danziger,
Aye.
Director Donner,
Aye.
Director Jex,
Aye.
President Jorgens.
Aye. Okay, congratulations.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, now we go on to special agenda item 7.2, to authorize emergency paid sick leave in accordance with, I can't see the SB part of my screen, and approve the 2021 COVID-19 paid supplemental leave policy.
Good evening, directors. In April 2020, the MOFD board approved a grant additional sick leave of 144 hours to all employees to minimize the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a government employer, MOFD was not eligible for federal reimbursement for the cost of this action under the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. In response to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Newsom signed SB 95 on March 19, 2021. This law requires employers to provide an additional 80 hours of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave to full-time employees and a prorated amount of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave to part-time employees based on their work schedule and work history. For firefighters, the law specifically requires employers to provide an additional 2 weeks of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave based on total hours scheduled in the 2 weeks preceding when the employee takes the leave. There is no reimbursement provided by SB 95 to employers. The law requires the following. Leave must be used for COVID-related reasons as defined by the law, as listed there in items A through G. The use of this leave is retroactive to 1 January 2021. Employers must account for and track the supplemental COVID leaves sick separately. Employers must notify employees regarding COVID-19 supplemental paid leave benefits by making the model notice prepared by the Labor Commission available at the link listed below, publicly available. And the requirement to provide COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave shall remain in effect through at least September 30th, 2021, except that a covered employee taking COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave at the time of the expiration of this section shall be permitted to take the full amount of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave to which the covered employee otherwise would have been entitled. A draft policy has been written to administer this paid sick leave, which is attached. Staff recommends granting additional paid sick leave as follows. Determine an expiration date for SB 95 required COVID-19 supplemental sick leave. Of note, an expiration date is not required, and the September 30th date is a no earlier than date should the board determine that the leave should expire. And then authorize all existing and new benefited 56-hour work week employees to receive 112 hours of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave. This leave can be used for any reason consistent with the COVID-19 related reasons list included in SB 95 and listed above. Authorize all existing and new benefited 40-hour work week employees to receive 80 hours of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave, consistent same leave usage as mentioned above. And then authorize all existing and new part-time employees to receive COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave hours in accordance with SB 95. This leave can be used as any reason consistent as listed above. And then upon request, authorize retroactive use of COVID-19 supplemental paid sick leave by employees during the period starting January 1, 2021 through today, April 7, 2021, and a restoration of non-SB 95 COVID supplemental sick leave to the employees sick leave accrual bank in the cases where there is a retroactive a grant, and then approve 2021 COVID-19 paid supplemental sick leave policy, which was attached. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions or turn it over to Jenica Maldonado from Rennie Public Law Group, who advised us on compliance with SB 95.
Okay, do we have any, I guess, what's the next item on that? So do we have any public comment on this agenda item 7.2?
We do not have any hands raised, and we've not received any written public comment.
Okay, so I will close the public comment on 7.2. Do we have any board discussion?
Just like to tell this Director Danziger, I'd just like to say to Jenica, thank you for your work on this and giving us guidance on proceeding with this, and thank you for staff in the short time frame of getting this to the board. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Do I hear a
So yeah,
motion?
Director Bates, real quick, just a question about the sunset in September. Chief, that's what's being recommended by staff, is that correct?
No, sir. The board, we will need the board provide some direction. The options are September 30th. It cannot be earlier than that as one option. The other extreme of that option would be no sunset. And the third option would be a sunset that the board could either select or define at a later date, that as long as it was after September 30th.
Okay. I would like to see us discuss a sunset at a different date. Not in perpetuity, obviously, but not right at the 30th. Anyone else thoughts?
Well, we can extend, right?
We can what, I'm sorry?
I think the last time we discussed this, we decided to leave it open and that we would set it at, depending on what happened, September 30th. We could close it October, we could November. This depends on when the determination would be, when there, you know, the risk and the issues are gone.
So Jenica, is it possible to do that, to say we aren't going to put a date on it, but we can put a date on it in the future?
As long as under the
after Sep-
statute, the obligation is to provide it at least through September the 30th.
Right.
So anything that goes beyond that is at the discretion of the board.
So we could have something that said, we're going to leave it open to future termination, but it will last it through, obviously, September, whatever the date was.
30th.
That's a possibility.
Can we leave it at September and then have it on our board meeting for September to talk about extending it?
That would be
that'd work
legally
too.
compliant. That's a policy choice.
Yeah.
I think well,
Why don't we do that? Why don't we just keep it September, but then have it on the agenda for September?
I thought there were issues, the reason that we didn't want to set a drop date is you might have a flurry of claims in a short period of time.
Mhm.
If it's an open, it basically, people aren't going to be rushing to use that time. I mean, I thought that was why we left it open.
I think that's what I remember also.
Okay,
I'd be fine with leaving it open.
with no date, just leave it.
Subject
Right, and
to
then
cancellation in the future.
We can revisit it in October or November or September. And if there's no, if there's no COVID,
Okay, I'm fine, that's fine.
So do I hear a motion about any of that then?
I so move, we approve that.
To approve it with no end date at the moment, but to be openable in the future?
Right.
Why don't we add that we look at it in September or October? Let's pick a look at date and see what hours have been used.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to authorize emergency paid sick leave in accordance with SB 95. Approve the 2021 COVID-19 paid supplemental sick leave policy with no expiration date and to be placed on our agenda for the October 2021 meeting.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Director
Any
Bates?
comment on that, or should we just take a vote? Sounds like we should take a vote.
Aye.
Oh, Marcia, where's Marcia?
Director Bates?
Aye.
Director Danziger?
Aye.
Director Donner?
Aye.
Director Jex?
Aye.
President Jorgens?
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay, item 7.3, authorized shipping services to be provided by an outside contractor instead of district employees for the remainder of fiscal year 2021 in the amount not to exceed $30,000.
Good evening, directors. In 2020, MOFD began offering community chipping with a rented chipper and 3 staff members in the newly created position of fuels mitigation specialist. From January to March 2021, the incumbent employees resigned to take firefighting positions with local agencies in 2 cases, or to enroll in full-time paramedic school as the case of 1 employee. To date, MOFD's hiring efforts have resulted in a single replacement employee with 1 more starting the background process and the recently formed hiring list exhausted. Several candidates declined the position in order to take firefighting crew positions with local agencies. The creation or expansion of fire crews by several area agencies and a hiring surge by CAL FIRE have created a significantly more competitive environment in which MOFD is struggling to hire and retain fuels mitigation specialists. Staff is in the process of forming a new hiring list. However, this will take time, and the lack of staff will likely preclude community chipping this spring as the 1 June compliance deadline draws near and fire prevention's focus shifts to enforcement. From 1 January to 15 April, the fire fuel mitigation specialist vacancies have resulted in the following savings, which net out for a total of $23,000, $23,089.07. As the 2 current vacancies move forward, additional savings will be realized at $6,000 per position per month. In order to provide chipping services to the community during the months of May and June 2021, staff recommends hiring chipping crew services from an independent contractor. The contractor would use the district's leased truck and chipper to perform chipping services. The projected cost is $30,000, which would be funded from a combination of the field mitigation specialist vacancies and the fire chief contingency. Sufficient appropriations exist in the FY 2021 general fund budget as follows, broken down below. Staff will issue a request for proposals for a 2-person chipping crew, obtain bids from multiple companies, and enter into a contract for chipping services. Staff recommends the board authorize chipping services to be provided by an outside contractor instead of district employees for the remainder of FY 21, the amount not to exceed $30,000. Directors, I believe this is an opportunity where, or a situation in which the reality of hiring has fundamentally changed since we created this position and initially formed the list. Our first round of hiring netted really high quality employees who did a great job did a great job of executing both the menial labor portion of it, feeding a chipper, as well as outreach, education, enforcement. They did great things. And as we expected, they moved on to do better things. One of which, Tiffany's case, was as a firefighter with the San Francisco Fire Department. So this is an expected progression. We didn't expect it would happen all at once. We didn't expect it would happen right at the time that the demand for the labor pool that we hire would increase dramatically throughout the region. As a result of that, we find ourselves somewhat flat-footed. And as we come into the prime spring fuel mitigation time, when the chipping service is really helpful to unlocking community work and neighborhood preparedness efforts, we find ourselves without the crew. At the same dollar figure, which we allocated for this work, we believe we can hire a contracted service to augment our existing efforts and to get us back into the chipping business at scale as we move into the spring. The dollars come out largely the same, and I think it is a good use of the available resources while maintaining our same service level we provided last year, with a little bit of enhancement as we move into June and the pivot to enforcement. But I think this makes a lot of sense and will allow us to get the chipper back on the street, meeting some of that pent-up demand that the grant-funded work we did back in February bought us some time, but the requests for chipping are going up fast. And as we move out of the pile burning season and into fuel mitigation season, as things are beginning to grow and people are thinking about fire this time of year, we think it's a great way to meet that demand and continue to provide the service level we offered last year.
Okay, do we have any public comment on this item?
We do not have any hands raised and we have not received any written public comment.
Okay, I'll close the public comment then. Do we have any board discussion?
Question, the equipment that we have under lease, will we be utilizing that equipment at the same time?
That will be the equipment that the hired crew operates in. So we'll be hiring the people, not the equipment. The people we believe we will get be significantly cheaper if we're just hiring people versus the full package of the people, the truck, the chipper that we're paying between $1,200 and $1,700 per day when we contract out for it in that model.
Okay.
Chief, quick question. I'm sorry, and I might have missed this. The $30,000 that you're asking for, was that coming out of the budget that we've already budgeted for the fuels mitigation?
Yes, sir. It's and the reason it comes to the board is because we're moving money around. So it's the savings realized by the vacancy. So the staff positions in fuel, the fuel mitigation specialist positions that have been vacant, it's reallocating that money to the contracting. So it's essentially changing the mechanism in which we get the labor, but the money's still going to the same place that it was budgeted for and intended. I'm asking for we'll be recommending using $1,000 fire chief contingency because we haven't realized the savings from the 2 vacancies going forward beyond this date. My guess is by the time we get to May, a month from now, we will have realized those additional savings from the vacancies, but I didn't want to ask the board to move money we haven't yet saved.
Thank you.
Chief, so this would be a contract for service with an outside vendor, and they're going to use our equipment. correct?
Yes, sir.
So who's responsible if an injury occurs to somebody?
That'd be part of the contract, sir. But unless the injury was caused by our negligence, in our case, or our failure to maintain the equipment or something where we were negligent, the contract is including their workers' comp is part of what we're including in the contract.
Okay.
And does that also cover any damage done to properties?
Yes, sir. Bonded and insured.
Okay.
Okay.
And does the company that we contract with ensure us that the employees they give us are qualified and meet our specifications?
That would be included in the contract, sir.
Okay. And so, I hear about the chipping part. I mean, our fire fuel mitigation specialists, are involved in other activities. So during this time, which I'm hearing is May and June, what about, work on complaints, other activities that they're involved in? What's going to happen there?
District staff will meet those requirements.
Oh, really? Okay. So a couple other questions. Right now, we're not doing chipping, correct?
No, sir.
And so we must have a backlog. Are we going to somehow send messages? I mean, how are we communicating that to the public that we're kind of backed up? And besides this meeting, is there any way to inform the public that, we're kind of what's happening?
Yes, sir. We haven't been accepting requests for chipping.
Okay. And I do notice that the positions for fuel mitigation specialist is not currently listed right now. Is that going to happen soon, or do we have a list we're working on?
Yes, sir. We've been working off of a list. We just exhausted that list in the last several days.
Okay.
We've netted one employee out of that who will be starting next week. That's late breaking news as of yesterday.
Okay.
And then we were in the process of running a new hiring process. But as you may recall, we currently have the vacancy for our human resources benefit manager. And given budget season and all the other things, that when we have a vacancy in the administrative staff, those functions largely revert to Glorianne. And as she's in the throes of the budget process, finalizing the long range financial forecast, compiling the budget, and all of the other things that fill her normal portfolio, I was hesitant to throw an additional hiring process onto her plate until we've onboarded the new human resources manager, whose first task will be to run a fuels mitigation specialist hiring process.
Okay, thank you.
Any more board discussion? Do we have a motion to deal with this?
I move that we authorize the chipping service to be provided by an outside contractor as indicated in item 7.3.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that, or should we? I guess we get to have a roll call vote on that now.
Director Bates,
Aye.
Director Danziger,
Aye.
Director Donner,
Aye.
Director Jex,
Aye.
President Jorgens.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. Okay, that was the end of our agenda for today for the special board meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Sir, if I could slip one in
Oh, okay.
before you adjourn, apologize. Just as a good news story, Director, we'll be pushing this out, but today Dennis Rain was able to execute prescribed fire on Flicker Ridge, where we got fire into the knob cones, working with East Bay Mud. For those of you who are familiar with Flicker Ridge, it separates Canyon from Indian Valley, just the south of Station 41. It's a unique ecosystem. It's the only knob cone pines in the Bay Area. Knob cone pines are a fire dependent species. They need fire at 351 degrees to open the cones and allow the seeds to release. There has not been fire on the ground up there since the 60s or perhaps earlier. And it's been a topic of study from UC Berkeley foresters going back to the earliest paper I found was from 1970 regarding the need to put fire on the ground. We were able to do that in 2 test plots today. which is tremendous good news story. And it has the potential for some really significant biological enhancement up there to help restore that unique ecosystem and get those pine trees back into health. And we hope that those 2 demonstration plots we burned today, those are being used to generate increased interest around our forest health grant proposals, which have been submitted, will be reviewed in May, where we hope to see a significant influx of state money for the forests surrounding the district, both to the north and to the south in the watershed. So just a very good news story from this morning. I will spare the board the details of what it took to pull that off, but it was close, and we moved heaven and a little bit of earth to make it happen. It was a really good news story on something people have been talking about doing for about the last 40 years.
Great. Congratulate Dennis for us.
Great.
And what are those pine trees called again, Chief?
Knobcone pine, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, Marcia.
Director Bates,
Aye.
Director Danziger,
Aye.
Director Donner,
Aye.
Director Jex,
Aye.
President Jorgens.
Aye. Thanks so much, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, Amar.